Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Talks and I am Divya. In today's video, I'll show you how to implement parallel test execution using pytest. Parallel testing is a process where you run the same test cases simultaneously in different environments. It also helps to reduce the overall time of execution. Before we start, please make sure that you have installed Appium client and Appium server. Appium is an open source cross-platform mobile testing automation framework that we are going to use today to automate our demo app. And pytest. Pytest is a testing framework that we will use to create our test cases using Python. And the last is pytest-xdist, which is a pytest plugin which helps you to execute your test cases parallelly and also helps you to scale out by distributing test execution to remote machines. So let's start with the implementation now. So here you can see we have a demo project where I have created a login file with login functions. What this function do is just log in into your app by entering the username and password. And we have to write a test case for this login function. So let's create a file called test_login. Now we will write function called test login. As we are using pytest, so every test case should start with test so that pytest locate all of your test cases and execute them. And now we have to define the desired capabilities. First capability is automation name. So this capability is required to tell your Appium server that which driver needs to be invoked. In this case, we are using UI Automator 2. And the next capability is platform name. I'm using Android emulator, so my platform is Android. Next is your app path. We have to define our app path. I have to import OS. As you can see, I have kept my app in my project directory, so I'll give my project path first. Next capability is platform version. My Android emulator's OS version is 11, so I'm writing 11 here. You have to mention your OS, your emulator or real device OS version here. Next capability is UDID, which is unique device ID of your emulator or physically connected device. So if you don't know that how to find out your UDID, so just type ADB devices. So as I'm using emulators, so you can see there are two emulators connected. Emulator 5554, emulator 5556. So this is UDID. So I'm using first emulator. The next capability that is required to be mentioned here is device name for parallel execution. Emulator device name is Pixel 3A. The next two capabilities are app package and app activity. It is highly recommended to use these two capabilities in order to tell your Appium server that which package and activity should be launched for your application. Otherwise, Appium will try to use this automatically from your app manifest. So here we mention our app activity and app package. So app activity could be your main activity or any other page. This is my app package, my demo app package. Last but not the least is system port, which is very important capability to specify. If multiple devices are connected to same Appium server, so we need to set different system port for each device. Sometimes there can be a port conflict if different ports are not used, which ends up executing your test scripts only in one device. Here we are using 8200 because this is your default system port, and we can use the system port between 8200 and 8299. So we are done with the desired capabilities. Now the next step is initializing your driver. So for initializing, we have to import driver from Appium, import WebDriver as Appium driver. Let's initialize the driver now. Appium driver.remote, which accept two parameters. One is your Appium server URL and another is desired capabilities. So here we are passing our desired capabilities, which we just defined here. Now I'm creating an object of my login class and passing the driver here. So it says the login is not defined because we haven't imported the login class. Okay, so now we have to call our login function, login into app. Now we are good to go and execute our test case. So before executing your test case, make sure that you are connected to your emulators and also your Appium server is up. So my Appium server is not up, so I'm running it. Okay, now my Appium is up. Let's execute test case now. So for executing our test case, type pytest-n and 1. N is your number of threads that you want to create and execute your test case. So here we have only one test case, so we are creating one thread and executing it in one emulator device. Our test case is running now. Let's see how is it executing in our emulator. Okay, our test case has been successfully executed. Now let's see the result. The result here, it shows a green dot, which means your test case has been executed successfully. Now we have to create another test case so that we can execute parallelly. So I'm just copying this test case and pasting it here. So we need two test cases. These are similar test cases, but still we have to initialize two different drivers because we are running in two different devices. So we are going to rename this test case to test case 1. Same goes to desired capabilities and also a different driver. Let's pass. Guys, this is not an optimized code. I know this is just an example just to show you that how to execute your test cases parallelly. So for the second test case, so this test case I want to execute in another emulator. So we just have to change few desired capabilities. First is your UDID. So change it to your another device UDID, which is 5556. And also your device name, which is Pixel 3XL in my case, and the next is system port. So as I told you guys before that we have to define different system port if we are running our test cases parallelly. So here I'm going to use 8201. Okay, now we have to pass the desired capabilities. In this example, we are running on same Appium server, so we are going to use the same URL and the same login function. So for running these test cases parallelly, just type and create two threads here because we have now two test cases which are supposed to run on two different devices. Let's execute this. Okay, as you can see now our execution has started. Let's see how it executes on the devices. We can see two dots here means your two test cases has been executed successfully. So now in this example, we are running the same test case but in different devices. So in order to remove redundancy, we can use parameterization if we are running the same test cases but in different devices. So let's start with parameterization. Oh, okay, it says we have to import pytest. Now type var.parameterize. So here we can pass the desired capabilities which could be different for different devices. So here the first capability is UDID, another is your device name. So we can pass all the different desired capabilities as parameters here. So this is your desired capabilities names. Now we have to pass the values. Now pass the values here. Okay, so the first capability is your UDID, which is emulator 554. Next is your device name, which is pixel 3a, and so on. We are done with passing all the parameters here and its values. So now we have to pass these capabilities in the function as arguments, device name, and your system port. Let's change the values in desired capabilities. So we pass UDID here, your device name, and also system port. So we have to pass system port as an integer because here we are using it as a string. So desired capabilities will take it as an integer. So make sure you are converting into integer and passing it. Okay, let's delete this another test case and execute our test cases. Okay, so the execution has started. Okay, our test cases has been executed successfully. That's all for today's video. And my next video will be about parallel execution using Selenium Grid. And if you guys like this video, please like and share. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please comment below and subscribe our channel. Thank you guys for watching this video.